kind of cheating. I mean, that's why I said it the way I did. Hey, it's the pre-show. I think we're live. Yeah, it's the pre-show. We're just talking about what we're going to do on the show. Hey,
yeah, that's why you said it the way you did, and then you instantly shit all over Laura.
No, I'm not shitting on Laura. She's only been Wolverine for like a week.
What are you talking about? She's been Wolverine for like 3 or 4 years now.
The character herself, like his X-23, she debuted like in the early 2000s, right?
Oh yeah, as in Nyx, yeah, which I think was 03.
I keep thinking of her as a relatively new character, but that's not true. She's like really fucking been around for a while at this
Not
point.
only has she been around, she got like a sidekick who's been around now since the Tom Taylor run, and that's been like years.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like 4 or 5 years ago at least. Yeah.
Fucking great run.
It was, yeah.
Run. Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor, man.
Man, he's good. David should be here eventually.
I mean, not so spoiler alert. He's in my top 3 this week. Tom Taylor is.
Oh, he's in my top 3 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think this week's top 3 we're gonna have a lot of.
I think we are. I think we're gonna have a lot of crossover. That said, I thought this was a pretty damn good week for comics.
Dude,
I could name off a whole bunch of honorable mentions.
Oh, I have 3 honorable mentions. I'm just gonna wing through them really fast because I could. Dude, how about Image this week? Image was off the chain this week. Taylor doesn't read Stray Dogs, but dude, you have got to.
Yeah, Stray Dogs was great.
Oh, dude, the ending of Stray Dogs. I was like, it's edge of my seat thriller, edge of your seat thriller type shit.
Stray Dogs is great. I know you didn't read it, but Ultra Mega was also great.
No, I didn't read that.
I'll look for the Stray Dogs trade when that comes.
Yes, you definitely have to pick that.
That one might not be a $9.99er though, since it's a mini.
Yeah, it might be
probably
13. Anyway, we'll do segment 1. I did do some stuff this week. I hope everybody had a good week. We got new dinosaur news. Again,
you're gonna do that before David gets here?
No, we'll wait. This is just pre-show. We'll wait to get to it, but yeah, hopefully David will be here by the time I get to the news for the dinosaur news. Man, and then just so many new comics were announced. DC is all over. Last week, Marvel had most of their releases. We do have one Marvel bit in comics, but there's new Suicide.
So, speaking of stuff coming out this week, or the big stuff coming out, I remember you were shitting all over that 0 Point or whatever Batman book. But Larry said that Fortnite book. But Larry said that book sold off the shelf.
You know why?
Than any other book. Yeah, because it had that code in the back.
It had the code in it. It had a unique code for the.
And say what you will about it being a bit gimmicky, but Fortnite is popular as fuck.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
kids love that shit, dude. My kid, he's really good at it. All right, he's always top 10 in those matches.
I mean, it's one of the most popular video games right now, and one of the most popular comic book characters of all time. And it shouldn't be too surprising that they can't keep it on the shelf.
Yeah. So there's a new Black Label Suicide Squad book coming. We'll talk about it. A new He-Man comic coming. We'll talk about that. That's actually Dark Horse. A new Shazam book. Okay. All kinds of Superman family books are big things. Huge things are happening at Superman. A new Blue and Gold book. Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
By the man himself, right?
Yeah, by the man himself.
Yeah, Dan Jurgens and Ryan Sook. We'll talk about that. And then there's a new Spider-Man event happening.
There's always a Spider-Man event happening.
Yeah, and then everybody watched Mortal Kombat, I assume.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Man, I can't wait for that. It's going to be fun.
I'll enjoy discussing it. Yeah.
And then Falcon and Winter Soldier, of course.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh my gosh,
I'll enjoy discussing that for entirely different reasons.
Oh man. And then we do have some food news. There is no Moment of Destruction this week. There were no books, which is weird. I don't even know if there are any next week either. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But there is a little bit of G.I. Joe news. There's a new novel coming out. We'll talk about that a bit.
A novel,
like actual words.
With words.
Pictures. No pictures.
Lame.
Just a whole bunch of dope comics, man. So yeah, that's it. We did. You guys bring any news to the table? Anything at all? Nothing.
Why?
I don't know why.
When you lay out such a beautiful buffet for us to pick, why would I come with anything?
Yeah, it's actively bad for us to bring news because we've already got a full, billet here.
It's true. I do.
We don't have the time in the day, Gomer. You do too good a job, honestly.
I don't want to step on your toes, honestly.
Wow. All right. So last week we did The Fifth Element for the Geekterion collection, and it was a whole lot of fun.
It was.
Definitely not the best movie that we've talked about or reviewed or whatever, discussed, but it was the most fun.
Off the cuff, what would you say is the best one from so far?
I mean, I'd have to look. We did Aliens, didn't we?
Yeah, we did do Aliens. Aliens is great.
Man, that's
Aliens is hard to beat.
Aliens is one of my favorite
movies. We did Akira
movies.
too, though. I mean,
Akira's a good contender as well. I was going to bring that one up.
We've done a lot. I don't have the whole list. You know, it's probably in my garbage. I could look, but
in my garbage,
in my recycle bin. But this week, Tuesday, the 27th, just a couple of days away, we are doing top 5 comic book characters. The comic book bullies will be here, except for Leroy. Leroy had something come up. The way he made
the comic book bully will be here.
Yeah, just one. Eli is going to be here. I think he's really excited to talk about it. He's probably got a lot of characters that we're not going to have on our list, but
I'm sure Punisher will be on there somewhere.
Yeah, right. To make
that might be his only big 2 character. I mean, I'm not certain of that, but maybe
he's very eclectic with his tastes, you know. And that's good. That's why I like him on the show. I've just got pretty much a plain Jane list, you know, top tier movie star characters.
I mean, that's true for me too. I mean, get me a pumpkin spice latte because my list is pretty basic.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But if you ask Leroy, he makes it out to seem like he's volunteering at a retirement center, but really he's just helping an old guy who's got to have surgery, so he's covering his shift. But oh well, he's got his priorities.
That's a good thing for him to be doing. You don't need to be his asshole about it, Gomer.
Well, I'm going to be. He's got, you know, you got to get your priorities. Dude, can't you reschedule your surgery? Come on, I got a podcast to do.
You're an ass.
And what? He can't just duck into the bathroom on his phone and jump in and be like, "All right, my top 5."
For an hour and a half? No, I don't think he could.
For like 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Rapid fire.
That's all we need. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a fun time. How many villains? You guys have any villains?
2 villains.
I have just, I have like a villain, and then I have a character who's like, no, he is not a villain, but he's a villain. You know what I mean?
I bet I know who you're talking about.
Everybody knows.
I think he's going to be on a lot of lists.
Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, the way I did my list is if I'm reading a comic and this character shows up, my eyebrows go up? You know what I mean? It's that sort of character that, oh, okay. So most of my characters have been seen in a whole lot of comic books. They're very mainstream sort of characters. But
well, I mean, we're joking about being basic and everything, but a lot of times things are popular for a reason.
Exactly.
You know? These characters are everywhere because they're beloved, because they got something right, and maybe they overuse them, but you know, just because something's obvious doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Dude, one of those characters that's on my list had two of the best moments in this week's comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
just
okay.
Amazing moments.
Yeah, one of those characters that maybe something in a Way of X, maybe,
and Sword.
Okay.
Sword,
He had one of the best lines in Sword, smacking down Cortez. I love that.
Oh,
anyway, let's get.
Just give the game away, Gomer.
I know. I'm just giving it away. I mean, you could probably telegraph my entire list. It's not. You know.
I don't think you guys could probably guess most of mine.
And honestly, Gomer, just from your comments, I think that your comic list is probably the exact same top 3 list this week as mine.
Damn. Well,
I think we're gonna be close.
It might be, man. I don't even remember what my number 3 was because my number 1 and number 2 were so damn good. We'll get to it. Oh, I remember now. Duh. There's a DC book on there. All right, let's go. Let's start this thing. I hope David shows up. Maybe I should move the news until he gets back.
This is bad comedy.
It is. It is culture. It's terrible. David is in the building. I'm gonna wait to plug him in here. Oh look, he's trying to talk. Greetings, geeks! Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek in Comics, our Geeker's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Gomer Adam Normal Taylor, aka David, fashionably late. Fashionably.
I mean,
Sorry.
he's actually
on time.
exactly
He was
on time.
exactly on time.
Yeah. He missed the pre-show. He didn't do any of the homework.
You're sending out like, I might be late,
Sam was
guys.
lying.
Like,
In that earlier
perfectly on
episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, he was like, "You're either early or late. Pick one." David proved him wrong. He
It's
was
true.
exactly on time.
Exactly on time. How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good.
I'm good,
Pretty
boy.
good.
Good. Anybody do anything fun this week? Anything
I
you
got
wanna
my
talk about?
first vaccination shot.
Oh, I got mine.
I got mine as well.
Yeah, I got mine
I
too.
got injected with those government trackers.
Yeah, I'm almost full 5G now. So
Oh, now
almost.
you're gonna get it.
Almost.
It's gonna rewrite your DNA and turn you into a jellyfish.
I hope I
Well,
get
if that
some
was going to
cool
happen,
powers.
it would have happened with me by now because Friday was my full inoculation day.
Nice.
Ooh,
It's
there
2
you go.
weeks after your second,
Yeah.
is what I'm hearing. Is
Yep.
when have your mutant power fully kicks in.
Yeah, I haven't been
hoping
able to
for-
figure out what it is yet, but I'm hoping for
Yeah.
telekinesis. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm hoping for something like Rogue's got, because I don't want
I
anyone
don't know. It
fucking
could be like
touching
Mortal
me.
Kombat, and your power could be just laser eye or something like that.
I know.
Or I mean, okay, so if it's like Mortal Kombat, do I have to spend weeks training to get it, or do I just get it right fucking away? Like
You have to get
Sonya
super
did?
angry first.
Something
You gotta
Sonya?
get-
I mean, hers just like activated.
Yeah,
instantly.
she shows up and she's got it.
That's her.
That's
her
something
secret.
for later. Yeah.
That's her secret, Cap. She's always really pissed off. We're gonna talk about that later. I watched Stowaway on Netflix. It's like a sci-fi movie with Anna Kendrick.
Oh yeah,
It's all right.
I
I guess it was worth a watch. But I did watch this awesome. This is so nerdy. A First Lady documentary series on HBO Max.
Well, that kind of goes
It
along
was
with like
wonderful.
your love for
That sounds
history.
It was wonderful, dude. It was so good. It was so good. It was only 45-minute episodes. It should have been a lot longer.
Did they talk about Edith Wilson being like technically the first female president of the United States?
No, they only covered some of the first ladies.
Okay.
Michelle Obama. They covered Hillary Clinton, Eleanor Roosevelt, Lady Bird Johnson. That may have been it. I think. Oh no, JFK, Jackie.
Jackie Onassis.
Jackie. Oh man, it's been 3 weeks and nothing. I know, man.
I was really hoping to get like powers like Magneto so I could use him at work.
Listen to this dude. He's like, I can't wait to get my mutant power so I can continue to be exploited by the system.
Oh no. I would like be taking all the metal dust that floats around in the air and putting it
murder
in my boss's
people.
heart.
It's also
To
worth pointing
murder
out that we're
people.
being pretty optimistic about our chances of getting good mutant powers. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I'm gonna just be
99%
ugly as
of
fuck.
mutants get like beaks or
I'm just-
like
yeah.
like weird toenails or shit.
Or how about like the loss from this week's Way of X? You just look all
Oh,
bendy
gosh,
and make people puke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god.
I mean,
That
that's
was
a cool
gr- that
idea
was
in
a great
theory, but
panel.
like, yeah.
yeah. Let's get into the.
And now the news. Goma, take it away.
Starting off, David, you missed the pre-show, and this is the
I'm
sort of
sorry.
thing that happens when you miss the pre-show.
Well, somebody needed my help, so
A new dinosaur species has been discovered again.
Oh!
Another one. The only thing worse than a dinosaur nerd.
I may have
is
heard about
a wrestling
this.
nerd.
Let's see, Kunza language. Yeah.
Lord
I
of the
think
Rings
I've heard about this.
Well, scientists have discovered the remains of a previously unknown species of dinosaur in Chile's Atacama Desert, 75 kilometers south of the city of Copiapo. Okay, and for people who are American, kilometers are like miles. A team led
A
by
kilometer is like 0.65 miles.
a team of Chilean geologists.
Actually, there's a lot of good discoveries coming out of Chile.
Yeah, we
That
have a-
last dinosaur that you talked about was from South America. I forget if it wasn't from Chile, but it was from South America.
Well, this is the Aracar Licanthante, which means Atacama bones in the Kunza language. And there it is. There's the thing.
It's a
80
very
million years
small.
ago.
It's a
they
very
represent-
small sauropod.
Yeah, it looks kind of like what you would imagine Dino to actually be from the Flintstones.
But
Yeah,
well,
I can
it's
say that. Yeah, I can
there's
see
different
that.
sauropods. Yes,
You could
This-
ride the hell out of that thing too.
Totally.
But
I
this
would
thing is
love that.
this thing is
See that
actually
at the
pretty
petting
close
zoo.
to. It's a very late. It's
At
a very
Jurassic
late-
Park.
Yeah.
It's a very late sauropod because it's closer to the T-Rex, and the T-Rex was in a different era of the Mesozoic. This
Good
is like the
segue.
Jurassic.
Another bit of dinosaur news just for you, Dave. Evidence indicates that the tyrannosaurs, the T-Rex, may not have been solitary species after all.
Well, there's evidence that's been suggesting that for a long time.
This is a new
that they found hunting in family groups or packs.
This is a new peer-researched or whatever, peer-reviewed research. They said the total number of T-Rexes that ever roamed the Earth was probably 2.5 billion.
I thought Alan Grant discovered that in Jurassic Park.
That was Velociraptors.
Yeah, that was the Velociraptor.
And the Gallimimus.
Oh, this guy. You see, that's
all dinosaurs moving.
He could be making that shit up. I have no idea. The publication from the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument in Utah.
Look at this.
And new evidence that the fearsome tyrannosaur dinosaurs may not have been solitary predators as popularly envisioned, but social carnivores similar to wolves. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of pack mentality there.
Yeah,
that's actually a really interesting idea, considering the size of for larger theropods.
Well, there were bigger animals running around.
That's a theropod.
Yeah,
but for
this
T-Rex,
guy, that's a theropod. Like that's supposed to mean anything.
Theropods are the two-legged bird-like dinosaurs, and then you have your sauropods.
I'm gonna quit doing the dinosaur news. I'm gonna quit doing the dinosaur news. DC has announced a new Black Label book called Suicide Squad: Get Joker by Brian Azzarello, and this is the good news, Alex Maleev.
I do like Alex Maleev.
Get Johnny.
This is still probably going to be a pass for me.
This is like a continuation of the Joker story from the book, that Joker comic book. Everybody's after the Joker now, not just Batman. Everybody.
Maybe.
Azzarello's Joker book.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. I mean, that doesn't. Yeah. That was just like a POV from like one of his henchmen. I don't think this.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
It's so much as it's about the Joker. Then
I'm talking about the current Joker comic.
No, that's not.
This is Black Label though, so it's not continuity.
Yeah,
this is something different.
And Azzarello's book predates.
Either way.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a 3-issue oversized Prestige Plus format.
My two initial reactions are that's a good creative team, and it seems like they're adapting the Assault on Arkham movie.
Boom.
A little bit.
That's exactly what I was going to say, man.
Except they're throwing Red Hood in there.
Yeah, the Red Hood's in there.
Red Hood's hot right now for some reason. He's in every book.
I don't get it either. He's cool.
He's cool, yeah. I like Red Hood, but I don't know why.
The stocks of the individual Robins go up and down over time.
It's true.
It seems like Tim Drake's stock is really far down, and it seems like Jason Todd's is on the rise.
Where they brought him back from the dead.
So there you go. Yeah.
After they voted to kill him.
August 3rd, $7 for 48 pages, prestige format. Moving on. New He-Man stuff. I actually rewatched The Toys That Made Us.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, show. that was a lot of Masters of the Universe stuff was in my Twitter feed over the last couple of days.
Yeah. It's called Masters of the Universe Revelation.
That's the Kevin Smith one that's coming to Netflix.
Yes,
right?
That's exactly right. This is a prequel to that, starting in July. And let me see if I can find the damn creative team. Oh, it's Kevin Smith and Rob David.
I guess DC doesn't have the license for He-Man anymore because I know they were doing some He-Man books.
They did
too long ago.
Yeah,
they did like a He-Man Injustice crossover. There was a Wildcats He-Man thing.
Yeah. Well, there was a straight up He-Man book because I remember buying the first issue or so.
It wasn't.
That's a Sedgwick color.
It was not.
That is a Steven Sedgwick cover. There's also a Mike
didn't they
Mignola
give like
cover.
He-Man? I was about to say I saw the Mike Mignola
it's beautiful.
cover a few days
ago.
I
He-Man,
love his skeleton
now.
Taylor,
David, I need you to tone down.
Yeah, you're at like
you're at an 11.
I need you
to
get
down
to
like a
6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm waiting on a phone call from my cousin because I discovered through the Twitter feed that there's a Masters of the Universe tabletop board game with miniatures, and you can't purchase it in the U.S. You can only get it in Europe.
I gotta say though, it seems like Masters of the Universe is an eminently D&D-able game. Like if you just wanted to do Masters of the Universe, you could just play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, but you got King Hiss riding around on a robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you got
that's the whole thing, man. You can just make it whatever you want.
You could homebrew the hell out of He-Man.
Oh
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you could homebrew the hell out of He-Man.
But then the miniatures that I've seen for this game look incredible, and I want them.
Nice. So that's in July, and then through October, it's a 4-issue series. And when does that series debut on Netflix? Hey, David, there's not a date?
I haven't heard a date yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's a date.
Are they expecting it this year?
Oh yeah, from what Kevin Smith has said, it's almost done. It's basically all the animation is done. They're just finishing up. At least that's what I heard.
Seems like there's a pretty quick turnaround between them getting finished and them releasing it over at Netflix.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of good animation coming out of Netflix.
There is lately, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Apparently, they're going to do one more season of Castlevania, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Didn't they also drop a trailer for that?
I don't know.
No, there was a teaser to go along with that announcement, but it wasn't anything but just like a GIF image, like a motion.
Yeah.
Poster.
No, the one I saw had the girl that was like Dracula's.
I didn't see that.
But basically, it showed like a map with a lot of blood on it, and they were talking about like condensing the humans into one place so they could farm them.
I need to watch that. I never even picked it up. I need to.
Camilla. I think Carmilla. I think it was. I'm Camilla.
Okay.
Shazam. Coming back.
July 20th.
What is that noise?
Is that you?
There's a noise.
I think that's you, man. It's your voice.
I don't hear it, man.
Shazam, July 20th, from Tim Sheridan and Clayton Henry, spinning out of the pages of Teen Titans Academy, which I am also not reading. Oh yeah, Love, Death, and Robots season 2 is coming. Yeah,
that's
man.
a great show.
That's a dope show, and they also confirmed season 3 next year. So
there's a Godzilla anime coming.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's better than those movies.
Yeah, it's
got. I was about to say, like, Godzilla animation has a pretty mixed track record so far.
It does.
It's going to be set in the Legendary universe.
Still.
So.
Okay, let's talk about Shazam now.
I mean, I don't really have anything. It's spinning out of Teen Titans Academy.
I probably won't pick this up.
Yeah, I probably won't pick this up either. I mean, I want to like the Shazam book. Who?
Tim Sheridan and somebody
Clayton
else.
Henry.
I don't know who either of those guys are. So
Clayton Henry did some Flash art not too long ago.
Okay. Tim Sheridan is the writer on the Teen Titans Academy book right now.
Okay, see, this is a character that like I like to read whenever they pop up because, like, this is a character that's like here and gone.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know who the fuck these guys are.
Yeah,
so like the creative team isn't really helping her.
I like to pick up Shazam every once in a while, but it lives and dies by the creative team. If it's not anybody I'm interested in, I'm not going to pick it up.
Even the last run by Jeff Johns, it was okay.
It was good, but it got really hurt by the pandemic.
It did. It got really truncated towards the end there. It was pretty clear that they finished that up way quicker than they intended.
The Shazam book is only a 4-issue miniseries, $4 covers. They do have $5 for the cardstock variants, of course. And that's it. So now, this is the big news, I think, of the week. Superman fan books are just changing all around, okay?
Thank God. They need it.
Yeah.
They need to recover after Bendis is messing them up.
So we're getting Superman, Son of Kal-El.
Tom Taylor's just hot.
Yeah,
this is a Tom
They're
Taylor.
giving him everybody, and you know what? I'm all for it.
Me too, dude.
I'm conflicted. I love Tom Taylor. I trust him as a writer.
You hate this guy. You hate Superman's kid.
Yeah, well, I don't hate him.
I was gonna read this anyway when Philip Kennedy Johnson was writing this, but you know what? Now that Tom Taylor's writing it, I am so much more excited to actually read this because, Philip Kennedy Johnson hasn't been bad, but he hasn't really been knocking my socks off either.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I'm all over this. Robin, Damian Wayne is going to be hanging out with him. So now we get Tom Taylor writing the Super Sons, dude.
And we finally get that awkward interaction because they've teased it. It's popped up every once in a while, Damian and John with this new status quo. But they haven't really delved into just how weird it is now that John is so much older than Damian.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you think
Damian was always older
at some point?
What?
Do you think they're ever just going to de-age Jonathan at some point?
I think it's more likely Damian will age up.
That's dumb too. Next book, Supergirl, World of Tomorrow. This is arriving July 20th. Issue number 2 of this 8-issue limited series by Tom King and artist.
I will at least try this one out.
Yeah. I like that cover.
Yeah, I like the cover quite a bit. There's a variant here. So she's just out in the universe doing her thing. Remember when she was a Red Lantern? That's basically what she was doing when she was a Red Lantern.
Yeah.
Out cruising around, being an asshole.
I've been really down on Tom King lately, but I'm not out on Tom King yet. I'm still willing to give this guy a chance because when he really strikes, he really does. He hits hard, But
I will not be reading this. I'm over Tom King. I'm over it. Yeah,
I'll give him an issue.
Back. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be fun. And Lois gets hit by a truck. I don't know about that. You don't like him being all married. You don't like him being all married with children. I mean, there's a WB show. I haven't seen it, but I heard that's really successful. That's very good. And
actually not a bad show.
Even if you don't like Superman being married, Lois Lane is one of the most iconic comic book characters of all time. They're not going to hit her with a bus.
Well, I mean, they killed, Gwen Stacy. I think that's what he's looking for.
That's not comparable. I mean, that's close, but
yeah, it's not. And then Action Comics 1033 continues. PKJ, his run with Daniel Sampier.
So we're just gonna call him now PKJ.
PKJ.
It's a lot quicker.
July 27th. It's a 40-page blockbuster. Second feature is a Midnighter story, which is very cool. We don't have enough Midnighter stuff going on.
That's cool. Yeah, I like Midnighter. Who's doing the Midnighter backup? Does it say?
I don't see it. Hold on. I think it's the same team. They're just doing the Midnighter backup story. And then, yeah. Oh man, I didn't. That was Bendis doing that, wasn't it? When she was the secret agent. Yeah, don't blame Lois
with the checkmate stuff.
Yeah, that was all Bendis.
I mean, the character's been kicking it around for 80 years, so just by default, some of the stories she's been in are going to be goddamn ridiculous.
You know what I liked?
Yeah, don't blame Lois.
I liked when Bendis had her go away and do all that journalistic undercover stuff. You know what I mean? But as soon as he brought her into that whole checkmate nonsense, it was just bad.
I was tagged out of Bendis' run way before any of that shit happened.
Yeah.
They're still out in space when I left.
Yeah. So the big Superman news, the biggest part of the Superman news is the new Superman book that they have announced called Superman and the Authority.
They've been trying really hard, ever since the New 52 to get all of these Authority characters into the DC, and it hasn't really quite stuck.
Grant Morrison's writing. Michael Janin is doing the art.
That's some Kingdom Come looking Superman right there.
Dude,
I love Janin's art.
Yeah, me too, man.
Morrison's got a really good track record with Superman.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one, man. I have a real love-hate relationship with Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
I either really love his shit or I really hate his shit. And I'm coming off of a Green Lantern run that I did not like.
So launching on July 20th, the new team will have led by Manchester Black. Midnighter and Apollo are back, but the new members are Enchantress and Natasha Irons, as well as new versions of Light Ray and OMAC.
Oh.
That sounds really interesting.
A new version of OMAC.
Yeah, he really does. Bendis, I'm not liking his damn Justice League either. And Morrison's, I don't know. It might be a little actually less than 50-50.
I'm going to give this a shot.
Yes, I'm definitely giving this a shot.
I'm going to see if we get heads or tails, on Grant Morrison here,
Yeah. This is a new limited series will help launch an all-new status quo for Superman, setting
it's a limited series?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, how long is it?
I would assume 4 issues.
It does not say. I'm going to assume 4 or 5, yeah. Well,
I feel like they usually try to stretch it out to at least a trade.
I will definitely give it more of a chance if it's a limited. If it was an ongoing, there's no way in hell I would read it.
Unless it just is really good.
This is going to set up story elements that will impact both Action Comics and Superman Son of Kal-El in the months to come. Yeah, dude, I'm in. I'm definitely in for at least an issue or two for that. And finally,
this is good. Superman really needed a facelift. His line's been languishing for a minute.
And finally, from DC, I think this is the biggest news DC has had in a year or maybe 2. The Blue and Gold are back. 8-issue maxi series. They say mini series. Anything over 5 issues is maxi series. I'm sorry. Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. They're back. Dan Jurgens and Ryan Sook are writing or are doing the creating. Man, it's gonna be great, dude. man, Ted Kord is aka the Blue Beetle, the inheritor of a proud legacy of crime fighting, and Booster Gold, time traveling jerk off. I'm stoked, man. Look at that. This is great.
Blue and Gold getting up into like wacky antics during the internet age. That is an intriguing idea.
Yeah,
Who knows? Ted's back. We don't know what happened.
Characters die all the time. I don't
know. Ted came back all the way in the New 52. He's been around since Forever Evil.
He's back. Yeah, I'm stoked for these guys. And Ryan Suk, he knows how to draw. He knows what he's doing. I'm anxious to see some interiors for that. Dan Jurgens has a lot of fun with his books. It's going to be great. That is July 20th, 8-issue miniseries, $4. There's also a $5 cardstock variant.
Mm-hmm.
Blue and Gold. All right, here it is. Dr. Octopus returns. The Sinister War begins. This July, all-out war with two of Spider-Man's greatest villains and their
They
own.
just can't help themselves with this book,
They
man.
can't. New Sinister Sextet.
I'm so plugged out of Spider-Man. I'm so plugged into the Krakoa stuff right now. My initial thought was Spider-Man's fighting Mr. Sinister? What the fuck
dude, right? Sinister War, right?
It took me way longer than I care to admit to realize, they meant Sinister Six. Okay.
Yes.
So Nick Spencer always goes big, says editor Nick Lowe, and this is his biggest story yet through this series and the concurrent issues of Amazing Spider-Man. So
this one actually gets an actual mini series.
It's an event.
Yeah, this is a real event.
Yeah,
with
this is gonna have way more tie-ins. Okay, I know what they're doing. I understand how Marvel operates.
And then just beware, at the end of this event, you get to issue 74 and 75, which 74 is like $8.75 because of legacy numbering, so they'll get you for a $10 issue on that one. And then 75 is 75 for this run, so they'll get you for a $10 issue for that one too. So they're really good pumping you for cash on this Spider-Man right now.
Oh, Cliff, 100% agree with you. Slot's run was so hit and miss for me. I actually have quite a bit of it just because I was such a Spider-Man fan. I just kept buying it and just complaining about it. I loved his Superior Spider-Man, where Doc Ock
was actually a lot of fun.
Superior was one of the best Spider-Man stories in the last 10 years.
But man, and now Spencer's taken over, and I tried, dude. I tried when Spencer, was brought on.
Spencer's weird because all of the little stuff, all of the little character interactions, and just Spider-Man being Spider-Man, he does fine with that. Like, he does good with character.
Yeah.
But when he goes big like this, which this entire run has been just big stories,
big stuff,
it's just not good. He keeps falling on his face. It's Secret Empire all over again.
Dude, you're not wrong, really, Cliff. I mean, how far can Peter continue? They've done everything with them. I mean, nonstop Spider-Man is great. Is it in canon or, continuity? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't really know about that either. But Miles has been awesome. The Miles Morales Spider-Man book has been really good with Saladin Ahmed on it and Carmen Carnero, who she's just freaking amazing. And he's got his own
reading a bloody swath through comic book characters, though. He's like asking them to kill people left and right over here.
Yeah, he really is.
Kill Lois Lane. Kill Peter Parker.
Yeah, just kill every class.
He's out for
kill them all.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's in July, and
but you lost me at Nick Spencer.
Yeah, dude, me too. I want him back on. I mean, all right. There's a book out right now called Nonstop Spider-Man. It is a lot more street level. It still feels big, but it's a lot more of what you're looking for, I think. But I say that without being caught up really on the Spencer. I left after that Craven nonsense, man.
The Craven stuff was one of the better stuff of this.
But it had all of these
now we have Demon Harry running around.
Yeah, Carnivore or whatever his name is, Carniac.
I was still pissy about his Captain America run. I never gave it a shot with Spider-Man.
Yeah. See, I thought his Captain America run had some potential.
It had potential, but it did not deliver.
Yeah, right. All right. That's it for the comics, man. That's just a marathon of comic book news, especially a bunch.
Yeah,
of
and you
DC
wanted
books.
us to bring more.
Whatever. Mortal
We're
Kombat.
not even done with
Mortal Kombat.
One sentence review. It was not good, but it wasn't really terrible. You know what I mean?
That is how I feel. Like
it
if
was
I
a
had paid
good popcorn flick.
If I had paid money at a movie theater to watch this, I probably would not have enjoyed it. But sitting at home on a lazy Sunday morning watching it, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, we always knew this was going to be a bad movie. The question was, is this going to be a good bad movie or a bad movie? And I think it was a good bad movie.
I think it's kind of a little bit in the middle there. I think it's not quite good bad enough to be a real good bad movie, but it's not bad. It's just it had some really cool fights. It had a couple really gnarly fatalities.
Oh yeah,
which is what we really wanted, right?
Yeah, no shit. Liu Kang did need a sandwich. He looked like me out there. I'm like $1.50, man.
But Adam mentioned the fatalities, and they apparently knew that's what you were here for, because a lot of these fights were just vehicles to get to the fatalities.
Yeah, that is one thing I had a problem with. Okay, I was expecting violence. I was expecting gore. I was expecting, cheesy dialogue. I wasn't expecting a lot of depth to the characters, even though a lot of people hate that Cole, that main character. I thought his arc kind of worked. The legacy. I liked it.
Fine.
I liked it.
He was definitely bland. He was definitely just like a nothing character. Yeah. But the actor was fine, and I thought his fight scenes were good.
Yeah.
So
He will forever to me be Scorpion Jr. That's the character's name in my head.
I am unabashedly in love with this version of Cabal. His accent in that mask was ridiculous.
Everybody was talking about Kano carrying this movie. I was like, he did just because he had more screen time. But Cabal was the man. He was awesome. He was terrific.
And but he didn't look 100% like he did in the game, but I was tickled to see him because he was a favorite of mine in Mortal Kombat 3.
It didn't look exactly like he had those swords that he had.
He had those swords.
That's all you needed.
But he's like he
did his moves.
He did his moves.
That was another good thing. They had a good attention to detail to the characters doing their actual.
And he had the best line.
Now that you mentioned that though, okay, so as a showcase of Mortal Kombat fan service, they did a great job, honestly. As just a let's watch a dumb movie just to pass the time, it's fine, it's good, it's fine.
It's just
but if you're looking for this to be a good movie, they really needed to be way less reverential than Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It was a little too self-serious for Mortal Kombat. My other thing with the movie is did the tournament ever actually happen in this movie?
No, I think they all just all started cheating. Raven just teleported them all to
At the end, they show the Johnny Cage thing or whatever. They're teasing the next movie, and that's maybe where the tournament will happen. I agree with Cliff. Goro did go out like a bitch. Cole's old lady basically beat Goro. She got no dragon tattoo or whatever.
I will say though that this movie will live. I will remember this movie just because of that final Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. That fight was awesome.
By far the best fight. I was going to say, I had a little bit of a problem with a lot of the fights in terms of the actual martial arts they were using, especially with this director who is known for, directing choreography.
I'm glad you mentioned that because honestly, in terms of fight choreography, the first fight was the best fight.
The one that was in the MMA
fighting
fight.
Off the ninjas, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, you mean the first fight way back in the day?
The very beginning.
The very opening.
Yeah, that
fight.
was
that
was really awesome. Using
the first opening is the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
It was. It honestly was.
Yeah.
It bookended itself with its two best fights, so it does have that going for it.
Yeah. But I mean, anybody looking for some kind of depth?
Oh no, there's not.
There's not going into the best thing. I mean,
this is what you're getting.
Steve Harvey.
You're getting a flying lady getting cut in half with a razor blade hat.
But that is a fatality.
This is a great example of something where you need to come in knowing what you're in for. You need to know I'm just here to watch very high budget special effects versions of Mortal Kombat fatalities.
A lot of people told me that was a cop out, man. That they expected more from Mortal Kombat. They were like these diehard.
Right. What
fans.
in Mortal Kombat ever made people expect more out of it? All it ever was cheesy ripoffs from kung fu movies and heavy metal magazines, all matched together in a cheesy fighting game. Why do people think there's like complexity to this thing?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, this is a great representation of the Mortal Kombat franchise. It genuinely is. It's not a deep thing.
Yeah. I want them to get more characters. Really, that's what this movie is for me. It's Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely tell in the second half of this movie that they grabbed a whole bunch of C-list characters because they had a whole bunch of other A, B-list ones.
They didn't want to blow their wad, man.
Right, because they were actually killing people off in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making it look like Sun Tzu's going to be the bad guy in the next one, too. Does that mean they're, like, saving Shao Kahn for a potential third movie or something?
Well, they showed sort of a Shao Kahn in, like, when they were showing the history, like a picture that looked
sort of, but they aren't, like, they didn't set him up to be the villain in the next one, though.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't show in the original Mortal Kombat. He didn't show up until, like, the very end, right?
Yeah, like the third one or something.
No, there's
right, exactly, man. People just need to enjoy for what it is. I mean, who is picking up their video game controller and being like, all right, man, I'm going to get entrenched in this this spun web of drama that is the Mortal Kombat franchise.
I don't know.
Any of the new Mortal Kombat games?
They do some weird stuff in the later Mortal Kombat movies.
They do.
Games.
Yeah, in the games. They do crazy shit, man. But yeah, it was overall. I had a great time, man.
I will say, I was disappointed there were no babalities.
Oh, come on! I was looking for a friendship. Were there friendships? No,
I don't think there was a friendship, but we did get to see an animality.
Had a friendship with Cabal. Him and Cabal.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
I guess
the real news. Who is the new Captain America? Give it up for Rick Remender for creating.
Yeah, and then he left right afterwards.
He did. Let's hear for Captain America.
Hip hip hooray!
Here they are, man.
And that issue was not a particularly good issue of Captain America either.
It was not. This run was okay.
The run was okay. It started really strong with the Dimension Z stuff, but then it really lingered with the Iron Nail stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, the show.
Oh my gosh.
This was the
comic. Here's the comic book version.
Loving it.
Here's another one.
He debuted his comic book accurate.
Here is the costume.
Captain America costume in this issue was awesome.
Dear God, it's just amazing.
Man, how much vibranium is Wakanda just giving away?
I don't know.
It's a good thing. Man, I like Captain Falcon. I
liked it.
I like Sam as Cap. I get it. A lot of people are traditionalists. They want Steve, but
I think he's a pretty good modern captain for now.
In the context of the comics, it doesn't really work because we know these characters are never, dead forever. It was only
Steve is inevitably going to come back and be Cap again. But that they don't have to do that here.
Yes,
the MCU. That's the cool thing about these movies.
You can actually move on.
Yeah, there's a permanence there.
They are moving on. Like, as much, we all love comics here, but they are eternally on the treadmill.
Maybe this will help Falcon Cap, actually stick in the comic books going forward now that more people are seeing this version of the character.
Yeah, and we are getting Captain America 4 with Malcolm Spellman, the showrunner of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And
just don't do Secret Empire.
Yeah, we can't do Secret Empire. Don't do something stupid and swap.
Well, I mean, they don't have the opportunity to do Nazi Cap.
See, it sucks because Falcon Cap, his only real big storyline is that Nick Spencer run that ends with Secret Empire, and it kind of sucks because but it's also good because that means that they can go out on their own and actually make their own original story.
Think of it as an opportunity. You're not shackled by having to be referential to anything, really.
Yeah, and they can still be referential. Just put the new Cap in place of Steve Rogers in the new narrative.
But anyway,
I'm not sure.
No,
the Skrulls in the MCU are
she's Mephisto.
Yeah, she's Mephisto.
Whatever.
He definitely. I mean,
Sharing all along.
She really showed everybody.
She definitely played everybody.
Yeah, she played every damn body, and I love that, dude. I think her arc might be my favorite one. Okay, and here's why. She got left high and dry by Steve Rogers. Yes, there's an argument there that Steve was on the run with everybody.
He was not on the run for all that 5 years.
And they were hanging out in Wakanda for a long time.
And she sort of got left high and dry by S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever was left of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, everybody. So
well,
she went and did her own thing.
The second she got her pardon, she abused it. So maybe after the 2 years, it was already too late. I don't know.
Well, once you taste that criminal life.
No, she's making more money than she ever did as a government agent.
It's difficult for us to say, but that's good story fodder for season 2. But before we look ahead too much, let's talk about this episode itself because it really was great. Like the action was all awesome, all the fight scenes, good choreography. It was cool seeing Sam just show up and rocking the suit and everything. But the part that I go back and watch is his speech after the fighting is over. That was a real showstopper for this episode.
That was one of the best moments in the show.
Where he basically tells both sides that no, neither one of you are right. You've got to work harder. You've got to find that middle ground.
Yeah. I think that really does illustrate why Sam is the perfect guy to be Captain America moving forward, because his greatest power is his empathy. His belief in other people to be better than they really are.
Yeah. And it's his ability to bring people together.
Yeah.
He has that same ability that Steve did.
Yeah, he has every reason to be disillusioned. He has every reason to be bitter about things, but he does find a way to rise above it and inspire other people to do the same.
Yeah.
He recognized the humanity of both sides. He recognized that Carly was trying to do a good thing, but
man, you eating chips over there while he's trying to do a soliloquy.
David, you asshole!
I'm not eating anything. I was just moving something.
Whatever, but he recognized that these people, even in the government super people here, he recognized that it's the problem is not that they're like Carly envisioned them as they're moving pawns around to enact their evil machinations, but that's not really true. The problem was that they had just stopped seeing the people at the bottom of this. They stopped seeing the consequences of their actions.
And the government did the same thing to Carly and them, saw them as just these radical
That's exactly
terrorists.
what I'm saying. The people at top were not trying to, intentionally hurt people, but they were callous. They were careless. Yeah. They didn't see the people as people, and that's what caused a lot of these problems.
Yeah. Cliff asked another great question. Is there a season 2? No, there is no season 2.
I don't know that it's confirmed, but apparently they think that there probably will be. There is there's going to be a Captain.
Well, there is a Captain America 4.
Captain America 4 is greenlit. It is confirmed, but no season 2 of this is confirmed, and I like that. I like the idea of these Disney Plus shows just giving us a season, sort of establishing, helping to set up a movie. You know what I mean? It's just a great way to do it, I think.
Yeah, everything has to fit inside of not just its own continuity, but a broader continuity. So I hope that they will decide, is there a story worth telling, before they just go ahead and say, let's do another season of it.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we're going to get we're going to get Captain America 4 before we get a season 2 of anything. You know what I mean? They're going to give us that. Carly was a murderer, same as you saw from me. Well, the government was murderers too. You know what I mean? And I mean, I see what you're saying, Cliff. She was definitely a terrorist.
Yeah, but Carly,
we accepted the role of being a villain. Is pretty much what it was.
Yeah,
Carly almost had the same problem as the people in the government, though, because she also stopped, caring about the death of everything, right? I mean, she didn't care about killing Lamar. She didn't care about killing these hostages. Yeah. Anything and everything was on the table for her cause, and that's what led her down the wrong path, Sam is the only one in this story who kept his empathy. Yeah. Both the extremes of the people he was working against lost theirs, and he was able to kind of reignite that within them.
Yeah. What do we think the future for Val? It's gonna be in the sequel or
Dark
in
Avengers.
4. Yeah. You think it's gonna be a Dark Avengers sort of thing? Who's gonna be on that team?
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I was thinking more Thunderbolts.
They killed off Batroc in this one. Which,
Yeah, they killed off
I guess he's
Batroc.
not going to be on the team.
Is Abomination still kicking it somewhere?
Abomination's
Everyone always
still
brings up
kicking.
Somewhere.
Abomination.
Leader is still kicking around somewhere.
Oh gosh, Leader.
Yeah, if we want to bring
Leader.
that up.
Yeah.
Come on.
I honestly don't care about them using either of those characters, but they're just people, on the list.
Ghost.
We have like Ghost from
No,
the Ant-Man
Ghost was
movie.
cured. Remember?
She's not cured.
No,
She's
no, no,
stabilized.
no, that's not true. No, they were looking for a cure for Ghost, but then they disappeared during the blip. And so what happens when Ghost is around for a few years with nobody around to help her because of the blip?
I don't know. They got a lot of work to do.
They do have a lot of work to do.
They should do a Thunderbolt show.
That'd be good.
I would watch the hell out of that. Universal wants them to use Leader. Yeah, right. No shit. I bet they do. I don't even know how any of that works, really. Who's got rights to what anymore. It's so convoluted and dumb. I mean, they got She-Hulk show coming.
Yeah.
Does Universal have She-Hulk?
I guess not.
I
don't think they do.
Either. But I loved Sam's entire action sequence in this. I liked how he did something that Steve never would do. He looked into the helicopter and saw someone who could fly and needed help from the people he was saving. You know what I mean? I think that was sort of injected in there on purpose that, this isn't Steve Rogers. He can do it, but he can't do it the way Steve Rogers. He can't jump out of a 12-story building and land on a shield and live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a different Cap. He's his own Captain America.
Yeah, and I like the way that they're handling that. Like, he's the Captain America for today, Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you can't like that actually. And it even had hints of Iron Man in there, where Redbird splits into two and is helping him push that car back off the bridge. It did. It had the same sort of energy when Tony helped Peter Parker on that boat with all those little things. So.
Oh yeah.
Man, anything else on this series? This is it.
Well,
this is the last episode.
Yeah, I'll miss it, and I'd like to see the characters again. But I will make one last note. Zemo is now 2 for 2 on accomplishing everything he wants to accomplish.
It's true.
Yep,
it's true.
He's the most effective Marvel
except for dying. He always wants to die at the end, but they never do.
Yeah.
That's the only shortcoming to all of his plans.
And come on, Thanos won at one
that
point
got undone
in time.
But even if we want to count that, Zemo is now 2.
Yeah.
But we had 2 Thanoses because they killed one of them.
Yeah. I wanted more Isaiah Bradley too.
That's how we're talking about. Like Thanos only won once. Zemo has won twice.
And it stuck both times.
Yep.
I wanted more Isaiah Bradley too. I loved what they gave us. I thought it was very touching. I thought the Smithsonian scene was really good. I didn't entirely buy Isaiah coming around completely to what
he definitely came around really quick.
He did come around a little bit too fast, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that matters. That
well, they didn't have a lot of room left in this series.
Yeah, from the showrunner standpoint, you don't really have room to do anything else. This is a background character, an important one, but you don't have too much time to go through his emotional journey. It was either going to be this or just drop it entirely.
Yeah, and Eli, it's Eli, right? His grandson.
Yeah. Patriot.
That's Patriot. Yeah, we have. I don't know if they're going to call them the Young Avengers. I think that's.
But we have Eli. We have Joaquin, the guy who took Falcon's wings. He's the second Falcon.
Yep.
We have Cassie Lang.
We do
have Stature. That's right.
They're going to get around to doing Riri at some point. They've already announced.
Riri show is already confirmed. Miss Marvel show is already confirmed. We may not have the Young Avengers, but we definitely have a Champions team. Forming,
I think that they'll probably I feel like Young Avengers and Champions is kind of the same energy, so I feel like they're gonna mash it together a bit here.
I think they should do Champions instead of Young Avengers.
I don't like the idea of Young Avengers. It's derivative and it
well, it makes them feel it makes them feel less. Yes.
Yeah. Champions is objectively the better name to use.
And I think you want to empower, that.
Plus, Champions
come on,
is
man!
just
Don't hate on Riri. Riri is awesome.
I hate
Riri
her
actually
name,
is fine.
but
She has a terrible name, but she's actually a fine character.
I understand
she
why
works really well in the Champions team.
She really does, dude. I understand why the hate for Riri because she's basically just a Tony Stark ripoff. But really, Marvel doesn't have anything else going for them but their characters. That's why it's so hard for them to introduce fresh new characters. They have to have characters that have this association with already popular existing characters
even
to
Miss
make
Marvel,
them carry.
Like she has the name, but really nothing else in common with her her predecessor having the name.
Yeah.
But Riri though is important though because not only is this a black superhero, this is a black teenage girl whose superpower is STEM. You know?
Exactly. She's into science and smart shit. But that's a good point. It's the name is stereotyped. I agree with you, Cliff. It is.
Well, okay, here's another great opportunity.
Yes.
Blame Bendis. He's
Blame
the one who
Brian
came
Michael
up with
Bendis.
the fucking name.
Exactly. I mean, the guy can't get a pass just because he created Miles Morales. He cannot. He cannot constantly give him a pass just for trying. You have to do it right. And I'm sorry, we're way beyond this point where white men are just creating all the POC characters. You know, we need more of that. Static Shock is coming back to DC. I think that's within a month or two. So
yeah, it's close.
I'm stoked for that, man. We need more and more of that. So anything else on Falcon Winter Soldier? We got Loki next. When's that? June 11th? We got like a month?
Yeah, we got to wait a month now.
When's that animated show? When's that What If starting?
Sometime after that.
Oh, gosh, that's a long wait. I think we may get the Bad Batch before that. Did we get the Bad Batch on May 4th?
It's possible.
Yeah, we probably get something on May 4th.
Maybe we'll talk about the Bad
There's
Batch.
no way we don't.
Yeah, hire him. Hire Cliff to write some books. All right. So, yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier was freaking dope. I can't wait for more from this stuff. So, food news.
Yummy.
Delicious. David, this is a winner for David. I had all kinds of different stuff.
The Bad Batch will debut on May 4th.
Yeah.
Just looked it up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too, man.
I
Maybe
mean, figures they
about that.
Want to drop something on May the 4th,
I mean, you guys gonna watch that? I'm definitely watching.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man.
I never watched Clone Wars, so no, I'm not.
Did you not watch the Lost episode, the Lost season?
I just fucking told you I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Well, I know you said that, but I don't know about Adam and Gomer.
Nope,
I did not watch the Lost season, but I am caught up on the regular. I am caught up on Clone Wars. What do you mean by the Lost season?
There was a Lost season. Basically,
you mean the 7th season, right?
Yeah, they call it
the
Lost season.
Dude, Clone Wars is awesome. I want to watch Rebels, dude. I really want to watch Rebels. I heard it was really good. But
Rebels is great.
Stouffer's has introduced a combination lasagna mac and cheese. Lasagna mac.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, for a limited time this summer. It's a microwave dinner. You don't have to cook it in the microwave if you don't want to. I hate cooking in the microwave. I got an air fryer and an oven. That's what I use. It combines lasagna with macaroni and cheese, obviously. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's lasagna with a layer of mac and cheese. No price. Stouffer's calls it the ultimate comfort food. It will be available in stores this summer.
Huh. Cool.
Sounds delicious.
I mean, it looks awesome. I want one right now.
It looks like it'll burn the top of my mouth.
It looks so good. I'm so hungry.
But no rigatoni.
I don't trust microwavable lasagna though.
Oh, okay.
Regardless of the context.
Do you trust microwavable mac and cheese?
Right, dude.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, mine would too.
I mean, mac and cheese is like, one of those types of foods that like needs to be easy to make. So sure, you can make microwavable mac and cheese, but I don't trust microwavable lasagna.
It's basically the same thing. It's just meat in it.
I guess.
Moving on. No reviews this week.
Man, we don't have anything. Why are you even doing that?
Well, I did find the deep cover variant of Sideswipe.
Oh, nice. The blue one.
Yes.
Nice. G.I. Joe classified novels are on the way. We don't have any comics to review, but we do have some news.
Nice art
makes
there.
you look like.
Yeah, Phil Noto is doing the cover art for these. It's written by John Scovron, and the artwork is none other than
Scovron. Sounds like a Decepticon.
In this action-packed series starter, a group of ordinary kids finds themselves facing extraordinary circumstances, and with the help of mentors like Duke, Scarlet, and Roadblock, they'll find what it means to be a team, rise to the occasion.
So this is the PSAs in comic
novel.
form.
Yeah.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
So yeah, there you go. Page turning action and adventure for middle grade readers.
Cool.
256 pages. Yeah, it looks like $14 later on this year.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Whatever. So there you go. Man, I miss talking about stupid Transformers and G.I. Joe.
I know.
It's been a minute since you guys have had any comics to talk
Forever,
about.
dude.
It has.
All right, let's move on to some comics. Man, I don't know who should go first this week. I think I'll go first because I'm pretty sure we're all going to have a lot of the same books this week, except David. There's never any telling what the hell he's going to read. I'll start off. Honorable mentions. The Old Guard, Tales Through Time, #1, Greg Rucka, Andrew Wheeler, Jacoby Kamangi, and Leonardo Fernandez. I'm a big fan of this franchise. It was really fun. These are just small stories. There's 2, really short stories in each issue about the team of immortals who have lived for, thousands of years in some cases and are just a team of mercenaries that are for hire. And this is all about one of the main characters, Andy, and her axe. And she's had this axe since she was born in the Stone Age. Like she inherited it from her mother. And it's sort of like got this, Ship of Theseus sort of thing to it. How, no, this is the axe, that I've had since the Stone Age, even though every piece of it has been replaced, throughout the centuries. Just really good, very well written, good draw. And the other story was really good too. I wanted to mention Stray Dogs, #3.
Oh, hell yeah. Bring that up.
Tony Fleeks and Trish Forder. Man, it's so hard to properly convey just how thrilling a book starring Don Bluth style dogs really is. But man, this book is just brilliant. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Cliff.
Beautiful.
I appreciate it. When we talk about the comics, that's when we lose everybody.
When we actually do the show.
Bye.
Yeah. But man, it's such a cool book, and
it's such a beautiful book.
Yeah, Trish Forstner.
The Don Bluth art really sells it. But you're right. The story, it is very tense. This is an honorable mention for me too.
Cool.
It's very tense.
Yeah.
And the end really has you kind of
like holy. It's on. It's like all right. Anyway, they get trapped underneath the deck, right, and they have to dig their way out, and it's really weird. But one of the dogs remembers, that, oh crap, this dude murdered my old owner. This is about a serial killer who the prize that he collects from his victims is their dog. He adopts their dog after he murders them. And the dogs, their memories are short and they don't remember until like something triggers. And then they have this flashback, which is so cool because, yes, the dog probably would do that, but it's also sort of mirrors actual real world trauma in where people repress it and then something
memories.
goes back.
Yeah,
it's just and it's very good about being honoring victims. It's very sensitive to that. But man, this son of a bitch, one of the dogs knocks the phone off. He's an old firehouse dog, Dalmatian. And he goes to dial like the emergency number on the phone.
Yeah, he knows the red button means 911.
The red button means 911. But the owner comes in and says, "Oh no, everything's fine." And he takes that fucking dog and shoots him. Takes him out back behind the shed and shoots the dog. And I mean, oh my God.
I was like, oh shit.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, wonderful book. And Avengers 45 was cool too. Can't talk shit.
Sheriff. Yep, just Sheriff Blade.
Yeah, Sheriff Blade was fun, yeah.
Sheriff Blade of Dracula or a Vampire Town. But my #3, Sword #5, Al Ewing, Valerio Schiti. Continues to be like a favorite title in a franchise that's just full of amazing titles.
My #2.
Cortez gets what's coming to him, really, after making actually a great point about humans,
Man, I really love setting up this conversation, though. So they freshly bring Cortez back to life, and he still has, like,
goo,
egg yolk goo
Yeah.
all over him. He's completely naked and like, all right, now's your time to talk in front of the council about why you think murder should be okay. I guess that's what his point was.
His point is that the reason
they should be able to kill humans.
The reason they have the law that murder no man, the mutant law, is because mutants have the monopoly on copying brains and resurrection. Humans can be resurrected, and he takes that and couples that argument with the idea that mutants, Homo superior, are the future. That, like it or not, humans are a
lesser being.
Yeah, they're going to be extinct.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically saying that like they're gonna die anyway. We're kind of new to this, but we're eventually going to get to the point where we are living for centuries and millennia, and these fucking humans just die after 100 years or whatever. So who even fucking cares? Like they're going to die anyway. Why does it matter?
He makes some great points, and then Peeper is there, and he makes these points about his name, and he's like, my name, and he's like, yeah, your name was given to you by a human, so why don't you have a little bit of remorse?
Well, not just that, like specifically Cortez is like a conqueror. That
exactly, yes, yeah. And then it just triggers him. Fabian goes on this rant about how he's been, tortured and humiliated and persecuted his whole life by humans.
And then Magneto has one of those moments,
where Magneto's like, "Don't show your dick to me," and
you're right.
I love how Magneto's in the Reds.
Those moments this week.
Yeah, I love how Magneto's in the Reds. In this particular moment, because depending on what color Magneto's wearing, it shows like the kind of mood he's in.
It does. It's easy shorthand.
Yeah, and man, I just love this. He's got nothing to say about how Magneto's been persecuted, and oh my gosh, I loved it.
And I also really like this issue because we're finally exploring more what happens now that the Iraqis are kind of
we got ourselves a new
integrated.
We see the Iraqi assassin here.
Yeah, her name is Cora of the Burning Heart, and she's basically able to do what Fabian does, sort of also what Hope does for the Five.
Well, she's the assassin, basically, for Sword.
That's Amelia. She's on the left. The Iraqi is the Cora of the Burning Heart.
Right, but she's the one actually doing the killing, though. The other one's just teleporting her around.
Oh, for the Snark War.
Yeah, for the Snark War.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't even to the Snark War yet.
But this is one hell of a debut for Cora of the Burning Heart here. She's rad as hell.
Oh, and hell
she is Fabian's replacement, Cortez's replacement, in Sword as a member of the Six. And she is like a mutant who can unify other mutants' powers together and sort of focus them all the same way Hope does for the Five. So yeah, great introduction. First appearance of this character. So this issue immediately went up to like $8. Just FYI. But the coolest part of this is we finally get another clue as to the overall scope of what Sword is doing. In the first issue, they go and get this shit called Mysterium, and it's this huge, enduring process. They have to all sync together and go out into the universe using this weird combination of mutant powers to teleport out there. But it looks like they've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
They have got a Scrooge McDuck money bin style tub.
I didn't think about that before, but that is a pretty good description.
Life is like a hurricane.
Yeah, I don't know what
David.
We have no idea what this shit does. It's like unobtainium from Avatar. We don't really know what unobtainium does. I guarantee you Al Ewing knows what Mysterium does, and he will tell us.
It's a mystery.
This one was actually my number one.
Oh, nice.
Magneto fucking stomping on Cortez's shit was amazing. And like Al Ewing is doing a really good job writing all of these characters. Like even Cortez's little like sociopathic speech he was giving had like this weird charisma to it. Honestly,
it did.
And
it definitely did.
He's right.
He's not right, but
to
like he has
logically, his logic is
you
sound.
can make the argument.
His logic is sound.
But
I tend to agree.
Same argument that's going on in another book that
I tend to agree. Okay, mutants put way too much value on human life. Not only given the fact of all the terrible shit that humans have done to mutants, but also given the fact that Cortez is right. They are on a train to oblivion, to doom. And I don't know. It almost
what makes
feels
him
like this weird
sociopathic
ego
is that
thing.
he's like painting with a broad stroke. Not
Sure.
every fucking human on Earth is trying to murder the mutants.
Sure.
Not every goddamn human in existence is like spending all their time scheming their demise.
Yeah, I guess they're complicit.
Fuck you, Gomer.
But no, it's a great choice for number one. Let's talk about the Snark War thing. And also how Magneto sort of confronts Abigail Brand, and Abigail Brand's like, loophole, Snark aliens are not humans.
Well, see,
loophole.
I really like the Snark War stuff because once again, Abigail Brand is a bad bitch.
She's Nick Fury times 10 in space, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I like
awesome.
that. Like, basically, she's like, well, first of all, maybe I can do it. We don't know. Second of all, I don't fucking care. Even if you tell me that I can't, I'm gonna do what I need to.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what I have to like do the minimal amount of death to end a goddamn like galactic purge here.
Exactly. But it's weird that you're like, no, Cortez is wrong, but Abigail is right. It's just that's just these sort of, the scales that Al Ewing is putting the weights on and saying.
I didn't say Abigail was right. I said she was
right,
a bad
but
bitch.
she is though, just like Cortez in a way is kind of right.
She's killing the people she has to kill in order to save the most people. Cortez is an indiscriminate, let's just fucking kill everyone because they're the shit on our boots.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you, Gomer.
No, I'm just saying, but
you're wrong.
They both make these arguments where it's like, yeah, you're right.
Context matters.
You're right.
Circumstances matter.
Exactly.
So,
anyway. Yeah, just an amazing book. It continues to be great. This first arc has been really weird, dude.
It has been really weird. It's been hopping all over the place just because of
King in Black.
King in Black.
Yeah.
But it's been good. Every issue has been great.
Like every one issue so far has been a case study in character writing.
One issue is a standout for best single issue of the year. Yeah,
that Manifold issues.
Manifold doing his walkabout.
Yeah,
that was like Manifold. That like really shot him up in my estimation. Like Manifold's like a cool character and everything, but he might be my favorite character from this year so far.
Dude, after that issue, Secret Warriors number 5 or whatever it is, his first appearance,
debut,
it shot up. People can tell.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. Moving on, Adam.
All right. So honorable mentions, Stray Dogs and Avengers. Like you said, they're both great. Also, X-Force 19 closes out that Kid Omega arc.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Sorry.
It was kind of a little drawn out, but it was still pretty good. It was still not bad. And my other honorable mention, the one I really want to talk about, is Ultra Mega number 2. I'm not gonna put it on my list because it is an $8 basically trade.
Yeah.
But
it does so much.
But
it's
on
my list.
So
my number 3.
So
nice.
much. James Herron killing it on the art.
Oh yes.
So much story. I'll let David talk about it later.
Cool.
My number 3 is going to be Nightwing number 79.
Nice. That is my number 2.
My number 3 as well.
Nice. Yeah. That's my number 2.
Yep. Some beautiful art in this. A lot of great sequential art, just showing Nightwing through the times, through different costumes.
Oh, I didn't even get those.
Art.
I didn't even get those original. Those are like the first 2 or 3 pages. I didn't even get those.
Those were great. I mean, that's like an ideal way to kind of like show the character's like life story, kind of like encapsulated,
Yeah.
And and now we're seeing Dick actually grapple with being a billionaire, because now he has all of Alfred's money, and he's kind of dealing with, I'm kind of the new Bruce Wayne. What do I do with my money? And he always kind of feels this one right here, that Bruce Wayne could have done a lot more.
No shit, Dick.
Than what Batman.
I've been saying that for years.
Right. And
I'll be honest, he does more than Batman does without the ego with one fucking pizza party.
Yes,
he literally does more for Gotham without the ego with a single pizza party in Bloodhaven than Batman has done in 80 fucking years.
I
Hooray
disagree with that.
Are you talking about the orphanage that has the Wayne name all fucking over
I'm
it?
talking about the fact that like 1 billion times over, every single person in Gotham would have been dead by now.
But that gets all back to how Batman went to escalation, created escalation. And the only reason there are supervillains in Gotham is because Batman.
Did you not
did
see
what he
that
did.
episode of Batman the Animated Series? That was a load of bullshit.
No,
But
I'm not
either
buying
way.
it. I'm not buying it.
Whatever. Okay, but that's a discussion for another time.
It really is. We could go how
All I know
billionaires
is
are
there's a bunch
bad.
of mobsters before, and then Batman showed up, and then we started getting all the clowns.
Thank you.
Not according to Zero Year. Joker
That's
was out there
true,
red
that's
hooding it
true.
up.
That's true.
He wasn't a clown then.
He was mass murdering
Man, this is
people.
probably my favorite little page out of it. This is just so beautiful.
That is great.
I love
like,
it.
It kind of gives me like Black Widow vibes. Like one of the things I keep
Sure.
gushing about from that series right now is really great just montage of action.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This really gets that nailed too.
That's
It's
Elena
the-
Casagrande and
art
Jordi
is
Belair.
terrible. The art's fantastic throughout this thing. I mean, it's very interesting. The panel layout is super weird. I mean, I love that. There's a couple times where he'll use. There's like like where there's like thwack and knock and those kind of
and
words
it fills
stuff,
up.
but there's still art in the word.
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. The onomatopoeia is like word. It's like not word balloons, like
It's-
art panels. Each
Yes.
letter is like its own panel. It's very well done. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Like that's something I'm trying to force myself to like pay more attention to because a lot of artists are doing a lot of great stuff with that. Like last week in Nonstop Spider-Man, like above
I
you,
did
or
finally
like
read that.
you've been had, like
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic issue, dude.
My favorite onomatopoeia of all time, though, is from the issue where Thor and Hercules are fighting each other, wearing each other's costumes, and nerp.
It says nerp.
Yeah, when Hercules gives Thor a purple nurple.
Tom Taylor's stock continues to rise. I think 2021, if 2020 wasn't the year of Tom Taylor, 2021 is certainly shaping up to be. Deceased and Injustice, they're not really on radar of a lot of people, in terms of the diehard DC continuity fans, because they're out of continuity. A lot of people shied away from his all-new Wolverine because they wanted Logan.
We were talking
Well,
about that when we were coming in. That was a
when
good series.
Well, I actually remember when it first came out, you actually didn't read it because it had a lot to do with clone stuff, and you're like,
Yes.
I don't want anything to do with clones.
I don't want, and then they had Honey Badger come out of that, and I totally missed out on it. I've
Yep.
gone back and read it, and
It's
I've read
great.
it. It's great, dude.
It's pretty
It
good.
holds up really well. It was
Yeah.
a great run.
Yeah. So Nightwing number 2 or number 79 was my number 2 as well. So
It's weird that it's not number 2. Like in my head, this is like they launched with the new number 1, like
Oh,
the last
dude.
issue. But
Well,
they
DC,
didn't actually.
DC's been doing that though. They've been keeping.
I kind of
the
like
number.
that.
I like it
kinda
too.
like
It's
that.
really old school.
Keep going, David. Honorable mention, number 3.
Okay, my honorable mentions this week: Post Americana number 5
Nice.
and Alien number 2.
I didn't read Alien. I'm off Alien. I'm happy I just made that decision too. I did. I'm just not doing it. No.
It had some very that issue had some very interesting vibe about it with when the Space Marines first land on Hadley Hope and
Yeah.
the Colonial Marines. But basically the corporation is basically like said, your son is aboard, got a hold of your pass, and you've got to go up there and fix the mistake.
Oh, okay.
So
We really nailed down
and
this rhythm here, where like David makes a pick, Gomer shits on the pick, and then David defends the pick.
I know we really do. Sorry. Fuck aliens. I'm done. Number 3. Number 3.
Number
But
3.
I'm with David for his number 3 pick.
Number 3 is Ultra Mega.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this book I was expecting something else completely, and this book really surprised me.
Oh, this book goes in
A different
really
direction from the
interesting
last
direction.
issue.
Yes,
From-
the last issue was a very standard sort of Ultraman riff, and this issue it goes off in a really weird,
It's like a post-apocalyptic
Fallout
kaiju.
Oh, cool.
uh,
Kaiju apocalypse. That's dope.
Yeah,
something like
there's-
that, where there's a
there's a lot
kaiju cult. There's the Ultra Omega cult.
That's rad. That's cool.
There's still elements of kaiju creatures in there, but they're not as bad or as big as they were before.
They're not as
They said something
prevalent.
like they They said like it's been 20 years since the last outbreak of a kaiju.
Yeah.
But basically, a lot of people are living in a dystopian landscape that was destroyed by the last fight, and there's like a whole city of people basically living in a better quality of life in another city, but they've cordoned off the area to prevent.
So it is straight up Fallout.
It's not Fallout.
It sounds like it. When you're talking about different, classes living in.
There's a class system going on, but it's they're preventing people from coming to the good city because they're afraid of a kaiju outbreak.
Yeah, you ever see the movie Elysium, that Matt Damon movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that.
That's pretty good.
That's
cool.
That's what's going on in this book.
Right.
It wasn't as good as District 9. It was pretty good, though.
It's kind of like that, except the Earth is post-apocalyptic instead of just poor people.
Instead of post-capitalist.
Yes.
Don't get me started. Cool. But, good choice. Good choice.
But we get introduced to a kid who basically idolizes Ultra Mega, and he inadvertently
he's the son of.
He potentially is the son of Ultra Mega.
No potential. He definitely is.
But he doesn't have the power or anything. But he basically has kind of started a clan war by by fighting and killing a member of the Kaiju clan, and cool. we're seeing what's going on there. And the book ends off with like the Kaiju clan already knowing.
There's some cool character stuff in here. There's this whole bit where you're introduced to this old guy who he's kind of like the sheriff of this post-apocalyptic town. And when this kid comes in, he's like, "Oh, hey kid. Oh, I like you. Like we've been family for a while basically. I know you're the old guy you used to idolize." And they're really welcoming. But then once the kaiju cult comes in and they're like, we're looking for this one particular kid.
And they get a hold of the food and they basically say that we're going to keep all this food unless you turn over the kid. The person that we're looking for.
Yeah, and in a second that guy is like,
he's like, yeah, it's kid over there behind me on the
stairs.
Damn.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on. We have like a
nice.
But there's some I'm thinking there's going to be a giant robot of some kind coming.
Well, sure.
Gotta be.
It's a kaiju book.
Isn't this whole thing supposed to be like Ultraman? So yeah.
It's Ultraman, but
Ultraman doesn't have a giant robot.
No.
But other kaiju stuff does.
Yeah.
It's just kaiju
cool.
period.
All right, that's Taylor. Honorable mentions, and I think you already mentioned your number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 was also Nightwing.
Nice.
For honorable mentions, I'll throw in Avengers 2. That was it's good fun. I really enjoy. We were talking about it last week in previews. It's fun watching the Avengers just kind of like on their downtime. That's fun to read.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Everyone's mentioned Avengers except David. The idea that the Dracula or the vampire country went to the UN and got recognized, it's just fucking weird, dude. Okay, it's just weird.
It is a little weird.
It's a weird universe.
It's a weird book. This whole Avengers book has been really weird, but go ahead. I'm not gonna nitpick.
I'll also throw an honorable mention out to Black Knight: Curse of the Ebony Blade #2. This one was more of a exposition dump than the first one, so it's an honorable mention for me. But
the ghost of his whatever,
they did it in a fun way, but like it was still kind of an issue that's setting up stuff instead of stuff happening.
Dude, that dude spoke for like 2.5 pages, and I knew as soon as we got to the end, the Black Knight was going to be like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And he did. He straight up called him out. I was like, okay, yeah, bad, I hold the sword, I'm alive. Okay. Yeah, It was so good.
I'll also throw an honorable mention to Flash 769.
That was fun.
It was fine. Like, it's basically Wally in the future.
Speaking of blue and gold,
they
have a character in this that's just a combination of them called Gold Beetle.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Has this character ever been there before?
I don't know. I've never seen this character before. So.
Apparently, they set it up like since she's a time traveler, she knows Wally, but Wally doesn't know her yet. So it'd be kind of cool something up in the future because, hey, maybe they'll give Wally something to fucking do other than like get his character assassinated.
And ride dinosaurs like Yabba Dabba Doo, right?
Hey, that was fun.
The next issue, I'm really excited for the next issue because the next issue looks like he's going to the Golden Age and the cliffhanger was Adolf Hitler holding the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Nine!
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I think he's in Jay Garrick's body now, right? But
give me the speed for us!
So he's just Quantum Leap this entire arc.
Damn it, we
this
gave
is
David
Quantum
an
Leap.
opportunity to do his
This
Hitler
is exactly Quantum Leap. He has to Quantum Leap to different bodies of speedsters, and he has to fix a specific moment in time, and then he Quantum Leaps to the next one.
That's
Not that
pretty
you
rad,
mentioned
dude.
that. The name of this story arc really should have been Speed Force Leap. But
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, my number 3 was Nightwing. So I guess that's it for me.
Nightwing was very good. Such good art. Great moments. I'm loving the Barbara moments, you know.
Oh,
Barbara
gives a lot of character to this.
Something that I've been really missing in the Tiny and Batman book is these character interactions between the different members of the Bat family. This book is doing that way better than the main Batman book is doing right now.
Yeah. There's too much going on I'm done with the main Batman book. There's just too much going on, and I don't really care about any of it.
I might have to adopt the rules I use for Spider-Man here and just go with one book per
family. And then there's the X-Men, you know, where I'm getting it all.
I used to have that policy for the X-Men, but I can't now.
You can't, dude. There's too much good
It's impossible to have that now.
Yeah.
It's all so good.
Yeah. So my number 2 was Nightwing.
Yeah.
So
my number 2 was Sword.
So we just keep
We got everybody's peanut butter and everybody's chocolate.
I'm pretty sure Gomer and Mai's number 1 is the same.
No, so David, you're up with number 2.
My surprise number 2 is Way of X, number 1.
Oh shit, we're talking about it now. That's my number 1.
That's my
David's
number 1.
doing a big 2 book. Wow.
I know, and high up there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave. It's your book. It's your call. Go ahead.
Well, for the most part, I haven't been following the X-Men a lot, but I picked up this book because I figured you guys were going to talk about it, and I really, and I wanted to keep up. So I really enjoyed it. I'm a little perplexed
confused
at the status quo now in the X-Men.
Oh yes, the status quo is so crazy now.
It is crazy.
If you have not been following, I could see that this issue being kind of a struggle to get through.
Okay, so basically
they are not holding your hand at all for the new continuity.
So basically this panel that Gomer's got up right now is one of these ones that just really irked me some, because now I know that they can resurrect, but now it's just a thing just to get yourself killed, just to go through the resurrection
and they're
process.
Not really saying that. They're just sort of dealing with death the way they deal with a stubbed toe, because that's really all death is.
A lot of these textbooks have done a great job kind of really picking apart and examining what would it mean if you lived in a society where you just get resurrected every time you die. So I mean, these dipshit teens are annoying, but even Nightcrawler himself admits, I don't really have a counter argument for you. You are just going to get resurrected. I think it's a shitty thing to do, but I can't really articulate why.
But the thing is,
there are gray areas there,
like,
and that's where this book lives, and that's why they're
taking unnecessary risk now just so they can do the resurrection. Because Pixie did not have to walk up and talk to that guy with a shotgun.
Well, my big thing with that one is not only
with the main character of this book, then David. I mean, that's exactly the
my
point
thing with that one was not only did she end her own life, which that is her decision, but she also kind of forced this guy to shoot her in the face. So now this guy has to live with shooting her in the face. He still made the decision to shoot her in the face.
He
got to kill.
That would not have happened if she had not walked
he got
up
to
right
kill
to
a mutant,
his face.
so he's on cloud 9, probably.
Like it's all gray. It's all up there.
He's still a shitty guy for shooting.
Oh, he's still a bad guy.
The best part about Pixie getting shot is the sushi cheese toasty moment. Okay, just before she gets shot, she's talking about
thinking nice thoughts, so when you come back, you would have a smile.
Think about your favorite food, and she's like, "Isn't it sushi?" And she's like, "Well, yesterday it was sushi. Today I'm really craving a cheese toasty."
I love that. Yeah, that's a great subtle way to kind of get across Nightcrawler's like insecurities here about like, are you really the same person? When you get resurrected.
You missing pieces from the backup. It's not an instantaneous backup. You know,
now maybe it's just a day here, but this is still a.
But who you are today and who you are tomorrow can be completely different based off of
exactly.
Yeah, you're going back to your last save in the video game.
He even touches on it in one of those little. You know, it's almost like he's writing a holy book for whatever religion he's coming up with, whatever faith he's coming up with. In terms of does it really matter that I'm pointing this out? No, because we'd have to explore what it means. And then even if we got to the bottom of what it actually means, we're not going to change that. We're not going to stop resurrecting people just because I discover some moral gray area in the resurrection process, which I think is compelling as hell. He's not even going to explore the moral implications because it doesn't matter to this society.
Yeah, he was talking about like there's corruption here.
But there's not.
The
main thing he talks about, right? And him and Dr. Nemesis, where Dr. Nemesis is my fucking spirit animal in this. I love him. But they talk about, I've got it here, the Crucible, right? There's this moment with this new character called the Lost where Cy Spurrier is playing with layers here, because there's a moment where Lost comes to Nightcrawler, comes to Kurt for help, and Kurt sort of just ignores
blows her off.
And the Lost really wasn't looking for directions. She was looking for
she was trying to introduce
show her the way. Someone to show her the way. And she was talking about the Crucible. Now, the Crucible is just this horrific, just terrible thing where a mutant who has lost his or her powers, most likely due to the decimation, done by the pretender Wanda Maximoff, is murdered in ritual combat so that they can move up to the front of the line in the resurrection. Kurt has a problem with this, and Dr. Nemesis gets into this, okay, in one of his things, all right? Okay, there's the side effect of the Crucible, because the Crucible is all about violence and pain.
It is. It's all about you have to be strong enough to take your mutant powers back. It's not just given to you. You have to die. You have to die a right death.
And that seems to be an okay thing on the surface. But Dr. Nemesis explores it a little more and says, well, this is a state-mandated thing. Anybody who wins the Crucible is bumped to the front of the line in terms of resurrection.
Well, it's creating a society of warriors.
There's also a law that says you have to procreate. So what they're doing is they are making sure that the strongest genes are pushed, are better. So really what Dr. Nemesis has done is he has found a crack in the system where Homo superior is being racially superior in their own context.
Didn't he also point out that they haven't brought blindfold back yet?
They haven't brought back a lot of precogs because
we know why, but Dr. Nemesis is seeing all the currents underneath the surface here.
Yeah. But Dr. Nemesis also agrees with most everybody about this abstract, and I love this idea of a society needing an abstract, like religion, like a fandom. And they use Dunbar's number, which is an actual, theory within social engineering, that you only can have about 150 different personal relationships, and everything else is just an abstract. So there's no actual way to run a society without the American flag, symbolizing patriotism, or a cross, or a Star of David, or the crescent,
a uniting factor
that is an abstract that people share amongst themselves, which isn't something that's tangible, and that's something that this society desperately needs. But once you do away with something like the Crucible and you just start resurrecting people without any actual reason, then this facade that Xavier and Moira and possibly even Magneto, I'm pretty sure Magneto knows about the precog rule, the no precog rule. You start hitting on that, and then there's more cracks, and the cracks get bigger and bigger. And while this actually appears to be on the surface a book about coming up with an abstract that can finally unite Krakoan and mutant society, it's about the opposite.
Yeah, it's about finding those
cracks. Yeah.
It's about exploring the underbelly of this new society that they're creating. So far, all they've been talking about is how great this new society is, but they haven't really shown, what negative effects, not having any respect for life
can
have, or anything like that.
Yeah, to society.
Okay, so talking meta for a second here, we know this status quo eventually is going to end.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And maybe this is the start of that. Maybe this is what's going to start pushing the ball downhill. I mean, it's going to persist for a while yet, sure.
Yeah.
But
and I really think that Moira, with all of her experience, Charles Xavier with all his insight, and Magneto with just his instincts, I think they are going to be able to overcome anything that Nightcrawler can do in terms of an abstract religion that somehow takes down the government. Eventually, are they going to get into church and state in this? I think so, man. There is so much potential here. And then there's this tease where, we know about Krakoa Pacific, the main one, and we know about the Atlantic. There's another one coming. What is that going to be? Dude, if Cy Spurrier continues to deliver like this is my new favorite X comic. It's amazing. I read it 4 times, dude. I could not get over how good this was. And Legion. We haven't even
Magneto
talked about Legion coming back.
Legion's a big thing. My other thing, though, is that Magneto gets another big slam in this issue,
He
too.
Does. Here it is. He's. Oh, my gosh. All right, so the world's first post-mortal society, and you're worried about sinning against your dusty god. As I recall, he was something of an authority on resurrection himself. You know your problem, Nightcrawler? You're so busy looking for snakes, you can't see Eden. And yeah, that's true, smacking him in the face, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that all is off the heels of basically Nightcrawler trolling him with this weird museum piece he found that when Magneto was... in the first issue, one of the first issues of
it was like
X-Men #1. Yeah,
that was the X-Men #1 where he pulled the nukes from that submarine.
Yeah, so man,
just Asteroid M.
Just a fantastic issue. There's so much depth here, dude, and it's
meta
and it's cerebral.
This issue asks all the deep questions. It doesn't,
and it presents some questions. It presents some questions too.
And what about this Patchwork guy? Is he?
That was Legion.
That's Legion?
I'm pretty sure that was Legion just disguising himself as... But I don't know if we know that for sure.
That's also a big thing, though, because it shows that Krakoan society has reached a point now that it is outside of the control of the Quiet Council. Because the Quiet Council has nothing to do with the Patchwork Man. But now all the youth... They have a new boogeyman that they created, or he's probably physically out there, but it's something that they have now that's outside of the Quiet Council's control.
They've shown Exodus like talking to the children a few times now, and this is the first time where they weren't sitting in like rapt attention to what he was saying. This is the first time where like they were
telling him what was up.
Yeah. So that maybe they're moving beyond like everyone, not for lack of a better term, drinking the Kool-Aid about like what.
And you bring up that Exodus talking to the kids. They've used that before to tell to communicate important aspects.
It's basically like it's like Exodus building up like the mythology of the island, of, like the people. Like he's building up like Magneto is like a Christ figure. He's building up like the Crucible is like this sacred institution. But here they hear that and they're like, he attacks you when you poop,
Yes, yeah. It's Cy Spurrier using the already established continuity in a way that I'm not sure has been used before. You know what I mean? That Exodus part. And I just hope he continues with that. It's nice to be in the reign of X era and out of the Dawn of X, because we're really seeing some payoffs now. It's not just setting up the foundation, or building on the foundation that Hawks and Pox set up. It's actually carrying this ship forward. And
he's already laid the foundation. Now he can play with his playground.
Yes, yeah, and let other people play in it.
Yep, let everybody play in the playground, and it's working out for everybody.
Man,
I'm not sure like how much they have to run by Hickman or whatever, but yeah, it is cool to see everyone like.
Oh, I bet Hickman has just like folder, like documents on just that Charlie meme of all the strings and everything everywhere. That's Hickman's office.
Yeah. I bet he does that. I bet he's like, okay, this is your notebook for this week, catch up on this.
I know that before when he was writing Fantastic Four, I think it was Bendis asked if he could use the Human Torch in like Avengers, and Hickman gave hard no because I'm killing him.
Yeah, killing him. I'm sure
Well, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same thing here. We're like, okay, Hickman, I want to do this, this, and this. You know, he checks the big old binder. That should be fine. Go ahead. You know,
I assume the binder is a Google Doc and everybody's in there, you know, just hanging out, putting notes and shit.
probably.
And
Hope it doesn't get
if I
shared.
could get that link, please, please send me that link. So yeah, that's my number one. That was David's number two.
My number one.
Yeah, I think we're up to Taylor for
his last number one. Yeah.
My
I mean,
number
what was
two,
your
yeah.
number two?
Number two.
Yeah, Taylor's number two.
Oh shit. I'm skipping people. Yeah.
My number two is the Mighty Valkyries. Number one.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Cool.
Mostly
Amazing
on the
art.
strength. Yeah, mostly on the strength of some jaw-dropping artwork. We thought this was a bear when we were looking at the preview. It's actually a wolf. It's
Yeah.
It's I forget the names, but it's the Norse wolves that like chase the
It
sun.
had a
and
long
moon,
ass
like-
name like Magamanmar. It's Fenrir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fenrir had two kids, and it's like the two wolves that live inside you. That old story, you know, which one do you feed? So I'm assuming there's a good wolf out there too, right?
Beats me.
I'm gonna
But,
find out because that was a good read. It was
a good read and good character work. I really liked Loki in this issue, especially like in disguise when like his way of flirting is like, did you know that Jimmy Carter once sent a thing to the laundromat with the nuclear codes in the pocket?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that actually is kind of interesting. But like,
Jane looked great.
Yeah.
I
the whole
wasn't
book looked
expect-
great. It was great artwork. I was kind of disappointed when we got to like the backup part where it was we found out her name was like Gouda or something.
Yeah,
but like
whatever.
but,
I actually
like,
just skimmed over that. After you get that,
it looks
Ayula's
fine,
art,
but like it's hard to drop from like that art to this
Yeah.
art. You know,
I think his name is Matea Ayulis, who did the art on there, and it's that Groenbeck guy that has like the Scandinavian punctuation or whatever in his name. But
I'm sure he's the one who's really writing it. But they still throw Jason Aaron's name on the front. I guess like for plot synopses or whatever. I don't know.
Jason Aaron stamped the script. You know, he gave a check
Jason
mark
Aaron's
to it.
like it's his outline, you know, and I think this is an outline that Aaron's had since he took on Thor way back on God Butcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Way back. And I think this is still sort of his book, but hell yeah, man. The art, I don't even care what was going on in the story.
Like even if like there were no words in here, like this is worth picking up just for some amazing artwork.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
so I'm actually done now because my number one was Sword. So I guess that just takes us back to David again.
Yeah,
Nice.
David's the last one.
Here's Sword again. I want to show off. I love showing off Sword. I love this crazy Cora of the Burning Heart. I'm very excited to see her do some work. And it's cool that we're getting some Morocco's doing.
Yeah, it is cool to see some Iraqi people like kind of getting woven into the narrative now.
Yeah. Cool. All right, yeah, Dave, we're wrapping with you, bro, because
Orphan and the Five Beasts number two, just solely on the fact that it was like throughout the entire issue, it is a badass fight that is just well choreographed.
Cool. This is that what's his name art.
James Stokey.
Yeah, Stokey. It's actually Stokey. I had to look it up.
Stokey?
I found an interview of him and he said his name in it.
But
So,
the Orphan
it was
fights
bugging the shit out of me.
The Orphan fights the first of the Five Beasts, which is the one they call Thunder Thighs, and pretty much that fight is where he just trying to squish her with his thighs.
Yeah.
And
I
she
love
cuts him.
Stokey's art.
He cuts
But
him
all
in
you have
half.
is a hammer. Every problem
It's
looks
weird,
like a nail,
dude.
I guess.
It's
Yeah.
fucking weird.
She cuts him in half, and apparently he's got a tumor inside that can run the bottom half of him.
Oh wow.
But she ends up killing him and taking over the gang, or the gang basically accepts her as the new leader while she moves on to the next five, the next of the five.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful artwork, very visceral fight, very bloody fight. You know,
that's really what
goes-
this is about.
goes very well with when you're watching Mortal Kombat and you have.
I was about to say, it sounds like the Mortal Kombat of comic book stories because like you're here for the gory fights and
I'm
really
here for the
not
fight.
much else.
And Stokey does a great job doing it too.
And that's two of your books this week. That Post Americana book too is. I mean, the story is okay in that, but it's really that art.
Yeah, well the Post Americana thing. We actually get introduced to a new faction essentially.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's it, guys. Man,
Yeah.
it's a great run of books. I knew we were gonna have a lot of overlap in what
crossover.
Thank God we did, because like look how long the
it was still a marathon show.
Man, I could have gone on. I could do a whole hour. I could go page by page on Way of X.
I think Nightwing and Sword were on all 3 of our top 3s, right?
Yeah, Sword and Nightwing is on mine. You didn't? Did you read Way of X?
I had the exact same list as Gomer. We just had it rearranged
in different order.
It would have been an honorable mention, but I was pretty sure you guys were going to talk about it anyway, so didn't need to bother.
It didn't strike you as hard.
It's fine.
No, this guy. I loved it.
I liked it.
Taylor's like, man, there's way too many fucking X books. There's way too many.
There really are.
Like that too.
There really are. I'm loving
honestly,
them all, but there's way too many.
The thing that bothered me that probably kept it on my top 3, these shitty teens at the beginning annoyed the hell out of me. And I get that they were supposed to, but they still annoyed the hell out of me.
I mean, I think it was a way Cy Spurrier was showing how out of touch Kurt was. And you definitely could tell when Pixie gets shot and everyone's like, oh yeah!
Oh yeah, watch the video!
Yeah.
Man, just because Kurt's the odd man out here doesn't mean he's wrong, though.
Well, no, I think he is right. But in order to give everybody else the same thing, the faith that he has, he's going to have to come up with something better. But if anybody can do it, it's old Shroom Head, Dr. Nemesis. Man, I'm telling you, Dr. Nemesis.
Oh, I also hated
nothing
that
like
too.
psychedelics always on hand to help
freaked
you
me
come
out.
up with.
His stupid mushroom brain.
Oh, I
freaked
have
me
it.
the hell out.
Oh no, I don't have.
Now
it
he's a
anymore.
clicker.
I
loved
hated
it.
that so
I
much.
loved it so much. Anyway, that's it. That's a wrap for us. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Please go over to outrightgeeker.com. We got all kinds of cool links there to everything we do: our Facebook, our YouTube, all our social medias, and merch link over at Bonfire, as well as our Patreon account where you give us a tip. We would love that, just $1. Come check out all of our other shows. We're doing our preview show tomorrow. That's a lot of fun at 7. And then at 7, a special earlier time on Tuesday, 7 Central Time, we are doing our top 5 comic book characters. That's going to be a load of fun. We're going to hang out with the comic book bullies to do that. You can find their show tonight around midnight-ish right here on our Facebook channel. They're also have their own YouTube. You can go to outrightgeeker.com and find a link to that too. Come back all week long. We got all kinds of great shows going on with Big Will, doing all kinds of just amazing stuff. He's always doing something. A lot of interviews, man. I have a friend who just did a comic book, just has a Kickstarter with like 5 days left. And I was like, hey, maybe I can get you an interview. Will's like, dude, I'm booked for the next 3 weeks. Man, I can't plan that far out. But
nah, man.
So keep coming back. We got a lot of shit going on, and we're going to do it again. Next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
You threw him off.
Really?
I did.
Really
I
stuck it up at the end there, guys.
I know. I can't be stuttering. I throw David off.